I can't believe it's been 3 years since I've moved to San Antonio. So, let's get into it. Now, if you're wondering why I'm making such a big deal about this, it's because it is a big deal. Well, for me it is anyway. For those who don't know my story, I moved to San Antonio 3 years ago with no clue what I was doing or why I was doing it. I had lived with my family in some capacity for all of my life. Moving here was actually my first time living away from my home and my family, and let me tell you, it was hard, even at my big age of 28 years old. I cried myself to sleep the first week of living here because I was so scared and lonely and unsure if I had made the right decision. But I kept going, and slowly I started to get out of my shell a little bit and put myself out there, and I eventually made some friends. Not only did I make friends, but I also found my church fam. They have been a vital part of my success in San Antonio, and I could not imagine my life without these people now. In addition to my church family, I've gained a lot of other friends and connections from all kinds of things. Jobs, photo shoots, modeling agencies, Instagram, influencer events, running clubs, and other church events. All in all, moving to San Antonio was 100% the best decision I could have made for myself. In the past 3 years, I've learned so much about myself. I'm definitely still learning, by the way, but in a way that I otherwise probably wouldn't have had I still been living at home with my mom and my sister at home. It was great living with them, but I just knew that when my current roommate asked if I wanted to rent out a room from her, that was my opportunity to take a leap of faith. And 3 years later, I can definitely say it was the right choice. One of the biggest things I've noticed that I've grown in is confidence. Now, don't get me wrong. This is definitely an area I'm still growing in, but where I was when I first moved here and where I am now are very different. If y'all don't know, one of my biggest dreams in life is to model for a curly hair company or be featured in like Ulta or Sephora in the curly hair section or something. Weirdest dream ever, I know, but I wanted to do that since I was a little girl because I never saw people that looked like me growing up, except for when I would go into these stores. So, with that said, I decided to join a modeling agency within my first year of moving into San Antonio. I figured that was a natural progression of how I should make my dream come true. But what I didn't know was that this agency focused a ton on runway training and walking, rather than on commercial print modeling, which is what I was looking for. So I left 6 months into being there, for other reasons honestly. But I gained a ton of confidence, learned how to properly walk in stiletto heels, learned a lot about posing, walked in my first fashion show, made a lot of friends, most of which I'm still friends with to this day, and I have a newfound love for going to fashion shows. And honestly, some great memories because we had weekly runway classes, which meant I had to be in those heels for 2 hours each week. But all in all, no regrets. Another thing I've noticed in the past 3 years is that I may not be as introverted as I thought I was. Yes, I am an introvert because I need alone time to recharge. However, I love to just be out and go do things. But because I still live far away from where I work, I mostly only have free time on the weekends. So almost every weekend I'm out doing something. Going to coffee shops, going out to eat, finding all the pop-up events, farmers markets, carnivals, all of it. I love it. And if somebody invites me out to do something, 9 times out of 10, I'ma be there. I get FOMO real bad, so I just know myself, and I know I'ma be at all the things if I can afford it. That's both a good thing and a bad thing, but we're not going to get into that right now. Next up, dating and relationships. Now, it's no secret that I'm definitely very single. Very single. But with that said, I'm super proud of how I've put myself out there when it comes to dating. I've gone on a few dates with a few different men, some great guys and some not so great guys. I have no regrets because I've learned a lot in the process. I've learned what I want and what I don't want. I've noticed qualities in men that I admire and some that were huge red flags. None of these dates turned into relationships, obviously, but it's been a fun ride. Well, fun sometimes. Not all the time. One of the other things I've enjoyed while dating in San Antonio is that it's an excuse to try new things. New restaurants, new coffee shops, new experiences. And y'all know that that is my jam. I love any excuse to get out and try something new. So, it's been fun. I definitely haven't been on a date in a while, but thinking back on the dates that I have been on, they've all been pretty fun. No regrets on my part. I'm just out here living my best life, and I know God will bring my man whenever it's time. Lastly, in this third year of living in San Antonio, I've noticed a shift in career things. 3 years living here means 3 years of commuting back and forth to my full-time job that's about an hour away. That's 55 miles there and 55 miles back home. That's 110 miles a day, 550 miles a week. And that's as much math as I know how to do, but if anyone could calculate how much driving that is a month or even a year, actually, maybe I don't want to know. Anyway, I drive a lot, and I've been driving a lot for the past 3 years. Too much. But in this last year, I stepped into a separate contract role with a social media agency as a photo shoot assistant. Basically, I would tag along to large group photo shoot sessions and make sure that all the behind the scenes things were taken care of. I'd make sure that whoever was in frame had their hair in place, necklaces straightened, makeup on point, and outfits together. I'd also adjust the lighting as needed depending on the location. Later on, I had a conversation with my boss and she asked me what I would love to be doing in a perfect world. And I told her, I love making and editing videos. If I could have a perfect full-time job, it would be something with video work. And a few months after that, I ended up getting a promotion to the lead content videographer. I'm still working my faraway 9-to-5 job, but getting this contract job is honestly wild to me because none of it would have been possible if I never started this little YouTube channel. If I had never taken the time to teach myself how to edit and use my camera, I would still be in the same place doing the same things. If I had never met my church family and started learning how to edit out sermon clips for social media, I wouldn't have learned how to use editing skills that are different from the ones I use when I'm just editing my vlogs. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not the best editor. I'm still learning. In fact, I still have a lot to learn. I may or may not have had a breakdown a few weeks ago because I couldn't understand something I had to edit. But that's not the point. The point is, you don't have to be perfect at something to start. Just start. You have no idea the doors that could open for you if you just start. All in all, these past 3 years have been incredible. Not perfect. I've had my struggles and ups and downs as everyone does, but in the bigger picture, it's been so much fun. I've learned a lot, laughed a lot, cried a lot, hugged a lot, danced a lot, sang a lot, and it's not over yet. I'm so grateful for this life I've gotten to create here, and I'm even more thankful to God for knowing my steps before I even take them. He knew I'd be here, and He has provided for me in more ways than one. He provided me with a place to stay, friends, family, jobs, health, and I've seen Him move in ways that can only be God. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Lord. And thank you, San Antonio. I love you.